Hello world, this is LockpickingDev. Today I have a very fun and interesting lock for you. It is a king lock. It is a Bulgarian lock and it has a very long key to it, as you can see over here. And in fact, the key works in a way such that when you insert it, it goes all the way into both sides of the lock and rotates both sides of the plug at the same exact time. So the pins are actually on this side of the lock here. They are right there. And so the bitting right here goes all the way in to hit those pins there, and this side is for when you insert it on the inside of the lock that way. So when you would mount this lock, be careful with the not remove our rubber pieces there. When you mount this lock, this would go on the outside this way. That way the brake piece, if someone tries to snap it, it breaks right there. And focus please, thank you. And the pins would be facing on the inside, so it'd be way harder to reach the pins because they're all the way inside there. So again, the way it works is these pins at the very end will interact with the pins all the way down inside there. Actually, you can actually kind of see the pins there. Let's pull it out. There we go. So you can see the pins right there down on this side of the lock. But there we go. In order to pick it, I actually had to make my own pick. So I have my own custom handles, and I made a dimple pick out of an ejector pin. So get that to focus there on the black there. So it is extremely long. So when I stick the pick in, it actually goes as far back in. I made it try to go as far back in. It's kind of hard to tell. The exit's so dark, and there it goes. There we go. You can actually you kind of see it goes right back there behind the last pin, though I can hook on it and know where I'm at in the lock. So I made a really long pick for it. And if you want to compare it to a multi-pick, you can see the multi-pick side by side with it. So much, much shorter than a normal pick. And also the ejector pin is thicker. But it works really well, as you'll see in the video next. Another note to say before I move on, I don't know why this little hole is right here. I don't know what it's for. It's just through that whole plug right there. And honestly, there's nothing exploitable through it. I don't see anything. If I shine a light down there, yeah, I just see the cam. I don't see anything down there. That's just the cam right there that you see glowing right there. And the other thing is to gut this, beware. I'm going to give you a warning for any pickers coming into this before I start the picking. If you have to gut it, you have to take this pin out right here, and basically that's a real pain in the ass, and it kind of breaks the lock most of the time. And so what I had to do, I'm not going to gut this on video, but what happened to me one time I did pick this, I rotated it counterclockwise, so I rotated it to go that way, and when I did, this hole lined up with the pins. The driver pins dropped down into the hole because the hole is so wide. The driver pins dropped down in the hole and actually fell completely out of the lock. And because this is such a pain in the ass to gut, because you have to like hammer that out or drill it out, I'm pretty sure it's a hammer out, because it's such a pain in the ass to gut, what I did was I line that hole back up the driver pins, and one by one manually stuck them in there and balanced them over a day or two to get it back in line, to get them back in there. So be aware of that. It was a real pain in the ass. But again, before we start, here's the outside where the snap in is, and the pins are all the way in on this side. So let's see if we can get our open. So we have our lock in our vise, and we have our long pick ready for us. We're going to use clockwise pressure on this. And here we go. This is long enough where I can stick it in the back and kind of get behind that last pin there. So it helps me know where I'm at, but you can still stick it all the way to the back. Pull it towards you, just like normal picking. Get behind that last pin, and that's where you know where you're at. That was pin 1. Pin 3 is very, very stiff. I can't do anything with it. I wonder if that's even a pin, if I'm lifting something wrong there. I do admit I have a little hard time feeling where I'm at in this lock while picking. Now I'm all the way in the back. I'm not feeling pin 1. I've already overlifted that one. Just let a whole bunch down. Not feeling anything. Let stuff down again. I'm gonna readjust this, make sure it's in that turning tool turning tools in there properly. I felt like 2, I think. I felt like I overset it, so I'm just going to go ahead and reset right there. Pin 1. There we go, solid set. I'm adding a lot of pressure on this just to make sure. I think it was pin 2. I felt that go all the way up, but never did set, so I may have overset that pin. I think I pin 1 again. It's the same one. I just lifted too high and never did set. Can't tell if that was 4 or 5. It's got to be 3, 2. Let it down. Oh, there we go. 1. There it's open. So I think I overset one. It fell in place where it needed to be when I add the pressure back on. That I went back knocked one and got her open. So one thing I had to be careful of. The reason why I picked it clockwise instead of counterclockwise, if I went the other way, when this turns, this keyway will line up with the driver pins, and those driver pins will drop straight out of the keyway. Fortunately, though, this little stupid gap, I don't know why it's there. It's literally just a stupid ass gap. Is not on the side where the pins are. So take it out and turn it around. You can see it's not on that side, so turning it, the pins do not fall in the keyway, fortunately. So there we go, there's our open. It was, it's all standard pins, trust me on that, because I found out the hard way that the pins fall out of the, the keyway there, and I had to put them all back into the lock manually through the keyway, and it was a real pain in the ass. But I did see that all the driver pins are standard pins. So there we go. Here is our key, and the key is actually half the reason it was a pain in the ass to pick, because I'll try to get a good angle on this. There we go. So if I get the key, there we go. So you can see pin number 1 is about a medium lift. 2 and 3 are very low. 4 is really high, and 5 is about medium as well. So trying to lift 4 without overlifting other stuff was a real pain in the ass. And then I'm not going to say it was good tolerances in this lock, but I think it's probably because it was only like $36 or something close to that plus shipping. And the only hard part, and it was all standard pins. So given all that, I think it's probably the shitty tolerances that made this a little hard to pick, kind of like master locks, to be completely honest. But there we go. There is our king lock, and that is it. It's the long key. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching.